You are welcome to another episode of HN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. In the bid to take R. Kelly down, many players were involved and numerous interviews carried out. In one particular interview Gayle King did carry out with Joycelyn Savage and Azriel Clary, the latter made an important comment which was rather ignored, and until today, the words she said make many people question whether R. Kelly was the guilty predator the government has been describing for the past 4 years. No wonder even some of his major accusers such as blogger Tasha K have questioned their own intellect and made reforms suggesting they now realize R. Kelly could be innocent. During this interview, Azriel Clary and Joycelyn Savage made a number of comments which caught the attention of many, but the most disturbing one was when Azriel told Gayle King it was her own parents that people needed to be afraid of and not R. Kelly. She specifically said her parents have always been out there to take advantage of Robert and extort him of his hard-earned money, and added that when she had just met R. Kelly, her parents instructed her to lie to him about her age and tell him she was 18 when in the actual sense she was 17. As if that was not enough, according to Azriel, they also time and again attempted to blackmail R. Kelly, threatening to destroy his career if he did not send huge sums of money within the next few hours. To be specific, Azriel said her father once told R. Kelly, "If you don't wire $20,000 to my bank account by tomorrow, I will put all your pictures with my daughter out there and spoil your reputation." The part that I found rather disturbing was when she said that her father asked her to take as many pictures and videos as possible when getting intimate with R. Kelly, in case he later needed to use them to blackmail him, what he is currently trying to do.
When I first met Robert, my parents told me to lie about my age. So when I met him, he thought that I was 18. On top of that, when I was 17, my parents were actually making me, trying to...
With R. Kelly?
Yes. And they said because if they ever have to blackmail him, what they're trying to do now, they can use it against him, which is exactly what they're doing.
R. Kelly's life has been predominantly filled with blackmail attempts, some successful and others failed, but surprisingly when his case was being looked into, all this was ignored. It's these very blackmailers and con artists that were brought back and used against him with no regret whatsoever. One may wonder how the sovereign government would end up in such a position of having to deal with such lawless people who are not only out there to extort rock stars, but are also bold enough to tell a mountain of lies under oath. Why would the government partner with such a group of outlaws? It's hard to understand. Ignored or not, Azriel's statement against her own parents was so powerful and should have caused the government to slow down and better understand the status of things. But because their only focus was on taking down R. Kelly, they blinded their eyes to the facts surrounding the case and pursued a rather prejudicial judgment. A woman cannot make such strong allegations against her own parents, and this is not looked into. They however knew well that if it was confirmed that R. Kelly was the victim in this case, their efforts would go to waste and the goal of locking him behind bars for the rest of his life would fail. While it remains hard to imagine a government that will team up with enemies of the law to take down a single individual for no clear reason, it's already here with us, and to this corrupt government we must continue to pay the tax and hope for a miraculous change in their way of doing things. Meanwhile, it's not only this confession we have seen surrounding R. Kelly's case. There are several similar events that prove the government was not being truthful in their accusations all along. The crackdown on Lisa Van Allen to make known her real age being one of these. And the latest being the Bureau of Prisons misconduct that saw them and their government counterparts break the law in their struggle to destroy the R&B King. Just like they did with the other findings, they have also chosen to ignore the Bureau of Prisons' interference with the case against R. Kelly. There is no doubt the officer aided in witness tampering, when she shared the illegally obtained recordings of R. Kelly's restricted phone calls and emails with his attorneys and relationships with Tasha K, knowing well she was working with the families of the principal witness Azriel Clary, who after listening to these calls switched from being on R. Kelly's side, and joined the government camp to castigate the R&B King. Government has shown that they will ignore anything that could free R. Kelly and cling on to everything else that is against him, even if it doesn't make any real sense. If this was not a one-man witch hunt other than an effort to safeguard young women, Why ain't the parents who clearly used their daughters as baits to blackmail R. Kelly held accountable for their own actions? And why is the government simply looking on when the prison's officers' actions were clearly against the law, and could have easily ruined their efforts to find justice for the said victims? Their non-responsive approach is an indicator that the government was all along behind the BOP's malicious conduct, and this should see the New York charges dropped and the verdict overturned. R. Kelly indeed has the right to demand that this matter be investigated, and that the FBI report be made public to help the world know what exactly happened. The various confessions already made by Tasha K should also be investigated to ascertain the truth in what she said. Otherwise, there is just so much to show that the government cheated their way towards attaining an all-guilty verdict against R. Kelly, and this should not pass the keen eye of the appeal court. According to Mindy Stein, what's disturbing is that the prison's officer did not access R. Kelly's emails and calls just once but 135 times in a short span. She should be made to account for each single time she did this and for each email she sent out to Tasha K. Listening to R. Kelly speak from prison brought tears to my eyes. My heart hurts for him, and this is so not right what they are doing to him. If the officer broke the law trying to take down R. Kelly, the entire government should be answerable. Indeed, like Kelly put it, if a McDonald's staff serves a spoiled burger, you sue McDonald's. It's the government behind all this, and they should be answerable for their illegal actions. According to Timothy Hawkins, all odds favor R. Kelly, and Bonji knows that. She has quite an amount of information filled with facts she can use to secure an acquittal for the R&B king. All R. Kelly therefore needs to do is remain patient and allow the process to flow in his favor. If you wish to take part in a live interview on this channel discussing any of these topics, let us know by emailing us on sashahnnewsroom@gmail.com for scheduling. That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say? To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.